HooHooHooRobin.
Where's Louie? I hear him mumbling. Is that you? There you go.
You got some A's on you?
You got your laptop out. What are you looking at? Anything good?
Oh, no, something I'm writing, and I have to transcribe some things from another thing to a thing.
What is this? It is. I don't know. I would say what?
Pantera.
Oh, it is Pantera?
Mouth.
God, I was going to go with...
Mouth for War. It's off of Vulgar Display,
okay.
I do believe.
There you go. I like. It's that little rock and roll. Oh, rock and roll.
Opie and Anthony show here on the
What did Dow do?
Potty Mouth
All right,
side.
Dow's moving up a little bit.
Is it?
Buying opportunity? Yeah, right. Who knows anymore?
Yeah, like
After
I said,
yesterday's disaster.
everybody really,
funny,
Wall Street really convinced that things are turning around.
I was hearing on the radio once that Warren Buffett is buying stocks, because his whole philosophy is, what is it? Be comfortable when others panic and panic when others are comfortable, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's going, hey, good time to buy everybody. And then 2 days later it said Warren Buffett had his worst year ever and he's really worried.
Yeah, and he's really mad. Yeah. He's usually an optimist, but
that's the thing.
he came out. I think he came out yesterday or the day before or something, and he's more pessimistic. So people are like, "Oh fuck,
that's bad news."
He's not happy. He's saying this is going to be a while before this thing turns around.
When you look at some of the lowest Dow figures we've had since '97, and then other companies that are posting all-time lows. Big companies, not just...
But the Dow Jones goes up when unemployment goes up. The country hurting are indicators to buy and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not really
time,
an
though.
accurate measure of how most people's lives are going. It's if the Dow goes down, that just means who fucking can buy stock? I mean, out of real people in the real world.
Yeah.
Who can really fucking invest in stock?
I think what you're supposed to do, what you're told you're supposed to do when you get a job is tuck some money away and save it. That's
Right.
phase one. You get a job.
Well, that's the thing is that Americans are saving more money now. American savings accounts are higher than
They're petrified to put it
right
in
now.
anything else.
But that's good. That's good. It's things have been so fucked up for so long, just exploding credit.
Yeah.
People having shit they can't even come close to actually affording to have, and not putting any money in the bank and just living for the retarded moment.
Check to check,
Just fucking from your ATM card, you get the money out and stick it right in your asshole and just shoot jizz all over your fucking stomach. Just constant flow.
Yeah.
And now people are going, well, maybe I save, maybe I buy things I need. And that makes the Dow go down because people aren't
really
just being
is.
stupid. So that's good. It was too high. The Dow was too fucking high. 12,000 was
fucking
crazy.
high.
Fucking high.
I was talking to my financial guy, and he actually said, and I didn't want to hear this. He goes, "Well, you got that safe in your apartment. I would suggest you put money in it." I'm like, "Oh, that's good." That's what your buddy says at the bar, not your financial advisor. He's like, "I would suggest you put a few dollars in that safe."
Yeah.
How they get
I know you're hearing
that's
stuff
great.
you never heard before. That
Yeah,
person,
yeah.
Right.
That talking head with the number scrolling under it that you always turn the sound off on.
Yeah.
Turn it up and it's just a woman saying, and then melt the gold and make a calf unto your god and carry the calf around and kill a virgin. This is the new recommendation from Merrill Lynch.
Yeah, I've never...
Turn up the volume and say, "Bury your money in the backyard."
Yeah, exactly.
You've never needed
Diamonds
a
are an
smelter.
excellently portable way to escape the country.
So true, man.
Swallow the diamonds inside of a condom.
It really has gotten to the point where, you just... Should you buy gold and just bury it like a pirate?
But then, see, I'm afraid of doing that because gold is so psychological. The
You're
idea
a gold
that it has...
guy.
I have some gold coins.
You were a
money
gold
is
guy.
more
Actually,
psychological
those gold coins
than...
that I bought they were $700 each, and it's up to $9.90 an ounce right now.
There you go.
But I would never put everything in gold because gold is this idea that it's worth something, and tomorrow everyone could say gold is
But gold has more realism to it than cash does.
Yes, it does. That's true.
It's hard to believe and really grasp, but...
Louis makes a good point, though. If the whole world gets together and go, you know what?
This ain't worth shit.
The gold should not be worth shit, and that'll solve all our problems.
But
and
let me tell you something, if that happens, Lou, we're in trouble because our money is all based on Fort Knox.
Right.
So if the whole world goes, we're in deep trouble. What's that?
It used to be.
Yeah,
like Goldfinger was made.
It's not anymore.
Yeah, they took us off the gold standard years ago.
Yeah,
long time ago.
The
golden Fort Knox is just no.
What if we find a
golden Fort Knox? Okay, 1960s, Jim.
What if we find a big pit of diamonds, and then next thing you know,
but don't you?
There's too many diamonds.
Don't you know about the diamonds?
What?
The beers. The diamond
beers.
Is it the diamonds or the beers? What are you talking about?
The beers.
De Beers, the diamond company.
Beers.
De Beers.
Yeah. I know. Go ahead.
They actually don't have a office in America because they're illegal because they're such criminals.
Right.
Literally,
human rights.
They're not allowed here.
It's just awful.
It's not because of that. Their practices, like economically, there are way more diamonds than there are like fucking rocks in your backyard in your gravel driveway.
For real?
There are but the De Beers company hoards them. Like they use these like fucking cartels and armies and stuff and warlords.
Really?
They hoard diamonds. They have a massive load of diamonds. And they control the price by meting it out how much they want to. And then every time a competitor starts making diamonds,
they kill them?
They flood the market with diamonds and lower the value of it.
Wow. And then
aren't they
then
so
that company
beautiful
goes
and
down.
sparkly?
Yeah, but they're common. They're fucking
common.
They are. They're not that. And if the De Beers company tomorrow could say diamonds are worth fucking Starburst fruit shoes.
Well,
Where are they
don't
based
buy
out of?
those.
Yeah.
Where are they based out of?
My mother's cunt.
No, Jesus.
I don't know.
That must be a huge company.
You just whenever it is massive.
With fucking...
It's crazy.
Good ventilation.
No, it's about 15 big vessels, big...
So the main guy...
no, every time you hit a gap in my knowledge, I just go to my mother's cunt.
So the main guy the main guy for De Beers on his way out could just say, you know what, I'm going to fuck everybody.
Yeah.
I'm leaving this planet. Who gives a shit?
Diamonds aren't worth anything tomorrow.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
actually right. I just did some research that says that there's more of a man-made shortage about diamonds than there is a natural one. The distribution of the number of diamonds put on the market each year is very regulated, and there are enough diamonds to give each man, woman, and child in the U.S. a whole cupful.
Yes, a
whole cup full.
A cup full of diamonds.
Wow,
in
two
the morning.
countries, one cup. See those ribs, you.
What the fuck? I didn't know that. I thought that was
I saw it on 16 Minutes.
It's kind of like OPEC. So, they take the oil and say, well, we're just not going to pump as much out.
Except for oil is a resource that's used by the
supply and demand, my
billions
friend.
of gallons.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. Diamonds. If you are...
They're a girl's best friend, I hear. Oh.
Yeah, because girls are cunts and they don't care who dies for their fucking sparkles.
Yes. That's actually too long for the slogan, but I like it.
I like that. That's little slug line. That's nice.
That's
De Beers.
Yeah, Tiffany should use that one. Tiffany's. All right. Wow, I learned something today. I had no idea.
It's a horse shit thing.
Education.
Can you check where they're based out of, Danny? I would love to know, mention the guy who runs it. Who runs that company?
I don't know. It's
How
a family.
fucking powerful is that?
Hitler.
De Beers are a family.
Amazing.
It's Ted De Beers.
Ted De Beers.
He puts out just one diamond, I think, though.
Yeah, one diamond a year, and you got to fight over it.
Diamonds for every man, woman, and child. A cup made of diamonds.
Diamond
hats.
It's a funny visual.
Diamond tires.
That doesn't make me feel good.
Headquarters are in South Africa.
I knew that.
I'm starting to think I should put my money in diamonds.
Yeah. No, you
like
can't. There's nothing safe. There's nothing. Money isn't a thing.
Right.
Grow a garden. That's all
my
you can
financial
really do.
advisor shouldn't
So you
say
can have food
put it in
one
your
day.
safe, though.
Yeah,
I was hoping that he could
though?
figure something a little better than that.
No, I was watching. I was
that.
watching one of those financial shows, and they're all talking this round table.
Yeah,
and they're going, "Well, this is," and they're just knocking down everything. Oh, how about GE? Not so good. And I just keep knocking them all down.
Could
and
take
then
a while.
Finally, the guy goes to the big expert. What's the thing then? And the guy goes, "Stick some cash in your mattress." And everybody laughed. And then when really,
he was
and
serious.
He goes, "No, stick cash in your mattress." Like they weren't kidding, and they all looked kind of pale as they went to the credits. Like, oh my god, we actually just said that. We're real advice,
and it was real advice. Yeah. The financial advisor would always tell you, don't put money in the bank when there's low interest, because you'll have the money in the bank, but the interest rate will not outweigh the cost of living increase. over the years. So you're actually losing money having it in that bank.
Well, and
I would always sit there and go,
stuff that are offsetting.
Well, no, you know what it is though. If you have a lot of money in a bank account, they have like where you don't pay a fee.
Right.
So I'm sitting there and I couldn't grasp it. I'm going, I understand what you're saying. Like if I'm making 1% on my money because the interest rate's so low, but if I have X amount of dollars in the bank, in a month from now, I'm going to have X amount plus 1%, not down $18,000 because the fucking stock dropped. I don't care if it doesn't outweigh the cost of living.
No, exactly.
I'll deal with that. I just want to know that I'm going to have what I don't need that much. Just tell me I'm going to have what I started with.
Here's what I don't get though. Like when like with inflation, like that idea that you take a truckload. Like there was a time in our country where you needed a wheelbarrow of money to buy a loaf of bread. That whole
yeah.
But if those people, those dollar bills that they had in that wheelbarrow, if they held on to them, and then when things got good, isn't that now
just
worth
wait a while? Now
money?
It's worth a
that
bunch.
$1 million you spent on a loaf of bread.
Just
wait. Don't buy the bread with it.
hold
Steal the
off.
bread like a man.
I remember our
and then you'll have $1 million.
Yes. I remember our financial advisor, because Ann and I have the same guy. He actually bragged to me. He goes, well, I'm losing less than the other guys, so that's why you should continue with me.
Wow.
And I'm like, that was his pitch, though, because it got so weird out there. It's like, no, you still want your money in these investments, and you want it with me because I'm certainly losing less than the other guys.
I'm using mine to put equity in my home.
I'm like, what? That doesn't make me feel good.
No. I don't know. My accountant called me like after the biggest crash
October,
day.
November,
and he said, "You're the only person I got good news for because you don't have any fucking money in anything." He said, "You're the only client I have who lost nothing."
He called you to make himself feel better.
Exactly. Because I had no.
He had such a rough day. He's like, "Who on this list is
exactly?"
I could call to.
You really don't know what to do with your cash.
No,
I just put it in. Like I said, I put it in my home equity.
I just paid mortgage. Fuck, what else can you do? It's like, I'm sick of paying the bank interest.
See, and then I go, because that's the other thing people say. The one thing that's, that land is perfect because there's always more people, there's never more land.
Yeah.
But then I think, but then there's going to be the revolution, and the brown people are going to say,
you're going to steal my land.
I don't care what your lease says. I don't care what your title says.
That's why you need to buy guns.
You need to buy a gun
guns
and
land.
One of the solutions to the woes out there, the economic woes, is a situation.
Is what?
A situation. Less people.
Plague or something.
Some kind of situation will make things a lot better.
We're reaching some kind of limits here. There's just not. The thing is, it's another reason again why it's good that this shit's happening, because you can't keep getting more this idea of wealth that's not based on, hey, we just found more stuff in America and we're selling it to other places.
Right.
It's just we're selling each other experience and orgasms and just trading money to the point where there's just money that's not based in anything. It's not based on some gold.
Yeah.
It's not based on that we're carting more fucking oats to China. It's this, we're selling our debt to China. That's our big, that thing that people say now that's our biggest export. Is debt. Did you know that?
Yeah.
That outstrips by far any cars we make or any steel.
Yeah, we sell them debt.
It's the biggest thing that we sell is buy some of our debt, and now we owe you the money instead of to
we owe you
Bank
money
of America.
plus.
Yeah, so that's
plus interest.
Why wouldn't that crumble? Why wouldn't that stop and go like, well, there's not more stuff?
Because we have atom bombs. Like, that's what I mean.
No, I know, but
we
inside,
have atom bombs.
It's not going to be an invasion. It's an implosion. It's just that we don't have the fucking resources or even the education, or knowledge, or the talents,
or
to
the
sustain
wherewithal.
Wherewithal, Jimmy.
I think eventually we'll just say we're not paying you back, and then if you argue with it, we will just drop huge bombs on you.
That's fine, but we don't have anything to give each other anymore. We don't have anything. At some point, you tap out.
Come up with a widget. It's just widgets. They're just fake things. We're just trading widgets for paper.
Yep.
For imaginary things that are worth little things on an abacus.
I remember I was in Arizona once and I stopped at a gas station that's also a Nathan's Hot Dogs and Subway.
Wow, in Arizona.
Subway, Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins, 7-Eleven store.
And this pasty, skinny, malformed white American kid with like chunks out of his hair, like he just cut his own hair like he was brushing it in the morning, just to keep the length down. I just picture him looking in the mirror, half asleep, like literally just using scissors like they're a comb. Yeah. And then he's selling a fucking Subway sandwich to a dude that's him. Just there's no difference between the two guys. He made it for him. They're just both sleepy. Can you put onions on it? And he goes, yeah, these onions? Yeah, okay. And then I looked at them. I'm like, why don't you just eat it? Who cares which one of you eats it? Who cares which one of you eats it?
Nothing really being exchanged there.
Oh, that's right. We're just these brilliant people looking at each other glassy-eyed, making consumer choices to each other. Yeah. One guy's getting paid and one guy's eating the thing, but what's the fucking difference?
What amazes me is what the world is drastically changing, and Bush. This was all happening, and how did Bush skate?
I know.
This was all ready to happen, and he was just skating to the end of his presidency.
Yeah. Did they see it though? Because the whole world economy got hit. Like London got hit.
The world economy.
No, they did.
The signs, man.
They did, because the seeds for this were planted a long time ago, and people just kept pushing off
the idea of doing anything about it. He just didn't want it on his watch. He just wanted to get to the end of it.
There's a great story on NPR that tells the entire story, like from fucking front to finish. It was this long thing they played.
Right. Of course, it's NPR.
Fascinating how far back it went.
I'm not blaming Bush, by the way. This was obviously all just developing while he was in office.
Well, Clinton didn't help either.
Sure.
Clinton was another.
Fucking Reagan, man.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is it was coming to a breaking point, and he was like, not on my watch, man.
No.
Get Obama in there and let him deal with this shit. Where's my helicopter? I'm out.
Yep.
Is it a bad time? Investments now, it's like, what do you buy into? Like, I invested, there's a company, and what they do is they go to people's homes.
Sorry, Jimmy.
And they do oil paintings of you and your family, and the paintings are about $8,000. And this company's like $300 a share. And I think that in an economic crisis, people want oil paintings of themselves for their families. And they go,
what a wise investment
commission
during these
artists
tough times
to come and paint oil paintings of them.
You know what? There is a story about this painter I saw on I think it was on 60 Minutes. This guy who's an American painter, and he paints just shitty landscapes like you see like in a hotel lobby.
Yeah.
But he became hot as a painter. Like, people just really dig him. This is, to me, like a great example of what is wrong with the whole fucking world, country, really. And he paints these shitty landscapes, and they're so hot that he just makes prints of them, like they're just reproductions. But then he adds a couple of dabs of paint to the print to make it original, and then signs his name. And crazy Americans buy these for like $30,000, and then they trade them like they're a big it's like a hobby to buy his paintings. But people like mortgage their homes to buy his paintings. They get obsessed. So they showed him. He flies into Houston. In a private jet, and goes to this big hall, and it looks like a EST meeting or something. It's thousands of people, like he's God, and he's got a headset, like Garth Brooks, like he's kind of like a Garth Brooksy cowboyish kind of guy. I'm a painter, man. Watch this shit. And they have all his paintings up on stage, and he's signing them like super fast, and an assistant is just taking one away, and then he signs it, takes another one away, and he signs it, and he says, every one I sign is worth another $10,000, and he signs, and people are standing and applauding.
Oh my God!
That he's just
printing money.
People are so excited that he's rich and that they're giving him money.
He must be like, is he from another planet? Does he have hypnotic powers?
He's just got that drive. He's got that thing that people like more than anything, that somebody's successful and rich. They're so excited that somebody's rich.
I'd love to be like one of those people that can just go in front of a stadium and just talk about how great you are, and have people just be like, yes,
and they're so excited that somebody pulled it off.
They're throwing money. It's usually some religious thing. I gotta get a cult.
It's a lot. There's a comedian in the world who succeeded that way. The number one thing people love about that comedian is how successful he is. Like, if you look at people writing about him, the first thing they say is, look how many of these he's sold, and look how great. And they don't. The germ of like what he actually does, that's arbitrary. He's a success story.
Yeah.
Look how many friends he has on this thing, and look how much.
Look at Tony Robbins. For years, he was like
fucking the lurch of of being amazing.
Yeah.
And he'd get out there and just tell people how to make it.
Yep.
And they were fucking like falling down crying watching this guy. How do you pull that off?
And a small percentage of those people will ever make it, even though they buy right into his concept.
It's
Thomas
amazing.
Kincaid?
None of them.
What?
Thomas Kincaid, the painter.
I think that's his name.
No, it's Reuben Kincaid.
Reuben's his agent is his brother.
Oh, is it?
Yes, Thomas is
Once he got rid of that pain in the ass redheaded boy,
yes,
he was able to concentrate on his brother's career.
Fucking pedophile. He's chasing after that little redheaded boy.
How about this though? You guys are poking fun, but it's a time now where you can invest. And I'm not on the. I got on the ground floor.
A few shares, yeah.
But it's a company that makes it's a combination hat, AM FM radio, and I think that in times like this, people like to walk around.
Does it say anything on the hat? Does it say anything on the hat? Like don't bother me.
AM,
or something?
AM on one side, FM on the other.
That's it.
And there's speakers on the inside of the hat, and they aim towards your ears, and you can play it very, very loud. And I just think people like that these days.
It's amazing. I believe I saw that somewhere.
There's a big heavy metal dial on the front.
That sounds good.
You have an obsession with hats, Jim.
How do you not? They go on your head. How do you not? My dream,
they keep you warm and dry.
My zenith in life is to make a hat bowling ball combination that you can bowl your hat and then wear it home.
Jimmy's Hat Museum. Jimmy just gives up comedy, moves out to New Mexico. And on one of these like highways that you have to drive through, he has just Jimmy's Hat Museum, and it's all his bowling ball and diamond hats and everything.
My dream is to be rich enough to make people wear porcelain hats on my ranch, and then every year we have the famous "How much diarrhea shit can you hold in your hat" contest.
Diarrhea shit.
like everyone stands there with their porcelain hat.
Say diarrhea shit.
Yeah, because it's just
say diarrhea.
That way you can't move your fucking head, or it will spill and you'll lose points. And the winner gets a bag of oranges. Bag of oranges for the winner.
Is diarrhea shit like the solid part of the diarrhea, like with the water sifted out?
Yeah, taken out.
Oh, there's
could be.
Possibly. Let's go to Matt.
It out.
Like diarrhea pulp.
Let's go to Matt in North Carolina. Matt.
Oh, I have to change it. I stole that from the office.
Yes, you did.
I actually didn't mean to.
I remember
have to change that.
Yeah.
I have to change that.
Matt, what do you got?
Damn it.
That show that Louie's talking about is on NPR. It's called The Giant Pool of Money.
That's what it is.
The hell is that
Thank
about?
you.
I know it's the show you're referencing.
Amazing.
Thank you, Matt.
What it is that there's this thing called the giant pool of money.
Right.
It's all the money in the world that's in a bank, basically. That it's a lot of it is Chinese. Like a huge amount of it is Chinese.
Yeah.
And that's the money that fuels investments and saving and credit. That's where credit comes from. And in China, they were making so much money with their booming economy that their part of the giant pool of money became really huge. And there's all these people that invest that giant pool of money to make it grow. Their obsession is to make it bigger and bigger. So there was too much Chinese money, and they ran out of investments. Like, America's a great place to come and invest in shit. They ran out of investments, and their favorite one was these mortgages. Where people, this is how all this shit started.
Yeah.
So they started going to mortgage companies and saying, we want in more. We want more, go give away more money for us to loan out. And the mortgage companies went, we just don't have any more qualified lenders.
Fuck qualified!
Yes, just go get us more money. So they lowered the standards a little bit, and then they go to Congress and juice up those people and get them to lower the standards legally, and then they stay way, way close to the limits. And then they find a way to take some, there's a few fucked up loans, but they bundle them with good loans.
Yeah.
And then they sell so you're selling a package that has an average default risk of whatever, 10 or whatever it is, but there's a couple of ones in there. And then there's a bunch of 20s, but it's a 10, so it's okay. So you start averaging out and bundling, and this NPR show, Giant Pool of Money NPR, you could probably Google it and find it. They talk to people that, this bartender in Portland. He was a bartender, and one of his customers he served drinks to once a day said, "Hey man, I don't have enough people in my office to give away these loans. Do you want to just come work for me?" And 3 months later, that bartender has a Porsche and a mansion just because he's just bundling shit loans with good loans.
Wow.
And then selling them to somebody who then bundles those averages and averages even more to the point where nobody knows. And now no one can untangle the bad from the good loans.
Yeah.
And after a while, they're giving people loans, and they say, like, how much money do you make a year? And the guy goes, 20,000. Say 30. 30,000. Okay, can you prove that you make that? No. It's okay.
Give me a phone bill.
Right. They get a fax like every day saying these are the new standards for loans, and it would say like here's how much the person has to earn, and here's how provable it has to be.
Yeah.
Here's how much you have to be able to prove that he earns that. You need this much proof. You need a tax return. You need, to call the employee and then go check out their thing. And that went down to, you don't have to call the employee anymore. You just need a tax return. Well, you can use an old tax return.
Yeah, we don't care.
It has to be 2 years old. It has to be 3 years old. And then finally, somebody started getting faxes that said, verification of income, don't need it. Literally don't
to buy
need
a
it.
house.
If they they make, all they have to do is say they make this much.
Wow.
And so that's
when did this burst? Because I had trouble getting a loan. My credit was kind of for comics. It's weird. I guess about 3 years ago, I was only able to get one through one place. Kind of like a couple outstanding phone bills, like bullshit will ruin your credit. So when did this happen?
Well, you remember
it was after I bought
ago,
too. We bought right at the height of the price of the fucking real estate price bubble.
Well, a few years ago, there was like a credit crisis, but it didn't touch anybody yet, so nobody paid attention. That's where there was like a huge earth tremor financially that happened a bunch of times. Nobody did anything. Nobody went and did anything about it. And it corroded and corroded, and then all of a sudden... So all of that money, though, that was what was fueling, like, AIG, insurance companies.
Yeah.
And the thing that people don't understand is that an insurance company doesn't just sell insurance and then get the money. They take the money that they make on insurance, and they invest in these loans. And they invest that money, those loans were such good money and such a good payback that that's why companies that have nothing to do with
everyone
credit,
wanted a piece of
they're all folding.
Yeah.
God, you just explained it way better than anybody on fucking TV in the last 3 or 4 months.
That's why nobody should watch this shit.
Right.
All of it. The liberal and the conservative.
I understand it more.
Fox News, CNN, all those people, they love this shit. They don't tell you nothing because they know you won't keep listening. If you just fucking take a breath and calm down and put on NPR, just fucking turn off your Twitter and just fucking listen for 10 minutes and you'll completely understand.
I think everybody was under the impression that you went to the bank, you got a loan.
Yeah.
The bank took its money, gave it to you, you bought what you wanted, and then paid the bank back with interest.
Right.
And then if you defaulted, the bank took your house, sold it or whatever, end of story. If you paid it, then you paid it. And the bank had other people do this. People were not under the impression that the bank would then take a bunch of their loans that they made and sell them off.
Yeah, no, that's why when you pay your loan, a lot of times when you're paying off your mortgage, it keeps changing.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute.
They're selling your credit to somebody else.
This isn't it happened to me.
I saw that.
I was like, wait, this wasn't the mortgage company I started with.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And it's getting further and further away from the person that actually loaned you the money.
Right.
And it's obscuring how much of a risk you were when you
because what are they checking the records of everybody?
No.
Back who's it? Is this we'll buy up this loan, but I want to know who it is. Who?
No,
they're looking
here's
at an
a package.
Average number.
The
of a
average,
package.
right? There's
Bundles.
a shitload of people in here, and the average is this percent. Okay, we don't care who's in there.
No, and there are still banks in America that are small neighborhood banks that literally they balance how their community is doing and they actually know who they're loaning to.
Yeah, but those are the ones that all of a sudden the door's shut and you can't get your money out. Those are like,
wait a minute, look,
so it's Bob's bank.
It's in his cab and it's in his house. No, your money's not here.
Like not actually here in a vault.
Wait, how is let me ask you, how is this selling of loans legal? Like I mean bundling.
It's legal
what the fuck is it?
It's legal because it's lucrative and people with money have the ear of the fucking politicians that make the laws. That's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's entirely why. It's so funny to me because fucking Bobby Jindal was that guy that talked after the president. You know what I'm talking about? His name Bobby Jindal.
For the other side.
Yeah, the Republican.
The Republican response.
Oh, Joe, go guy.
These guys, they always say these two things. They say we've got to let we've got to let people, we've got to deregulate everything and get off of America's backs. And then 2 seconds later they go, and we've got to punish those people that did all these terrible things.
Yeah.
That's why they did them, because there was no regulation, you fucking douche.
You dummy.
But because Americans can do anything, which is, based on that phrase, they fuck people. They take their shit away.
Yeah.
And let banks take their shit away. And
poor Obama. He ain't gonna get
Obama.
He ain't gonna get this shit turned around.
Well, you need, look, the way I look at it is like, we can't win all the time. We're gonna have a hard time.
Sure. So
you need a president who knows how to, I think he's gonna be better at being president during a hard time. I think people are looking at I have different expectations.
Apparently he's throwing some pretty good parties.
I don't think he's gonna keep us at this crazy, unsustainable level of consumer happiness. We're gonna shit the bed, but I'd rather have him president when we're shitting the bed.
Oh, believe me, so would I.
Than some fucking red-cheeked Republican that doesn't give a fuck about hurting people.
How come I have the same opinion on that as you do? I want to have this guy in office when everything comes falling down. Because then in 4 years he'll be like, fuck this guy.
For totally different
Mr.
reasons.
Scapegoat. Exactly. Isn't it convenient that they got the first black guy in when it's the worst economy ever?
Americans are like Yankees fans. The New York Yankees, when they I liked the Yankees in '94. I
did too.
Era, because shut up, you fucking liar. They built a team and then they won a bunch of World Series with these like storied guys.
Yeah.
But the way that you should let it go is then the guys get old and they retire, and new young guys come up, and the team is new and awkward. So you take a back seat, you become number 2 or 3 for a while, and then you get to watch that team build organically and become winners again.
Cool.
That's what I love. But Yankee fans go, no, we're the champs. So they go and they spend all this fucking money. They let all their young talent go and spend money on these steroid pumped retards that cost billions of dollars, and they lose. Why are we losing? Because you have no fucking patience, because you couldn't take 1 year off.
Don't blame the fans.
You want to be number 1 every year. You can't go number 2 for 1 year in order to stage a number 1 comeback. You can't handle it. And that's what Americans are like. Like, maybe we're not number 1 for a little while. Let's go make some more shit. And then come back and sell it and be number 1 again.
Going with your sports thing, too. I love the coaches and the managers that get, they win the championship. Next year, they're having a mediocre season, so they get rid of the guy that gave him a championship a mere year ago.
He's an idiot.
It's like, what the fuck is that
always
about?
Win.
I miss that about sports. I grew up a Mets fan, and we went through those years where we were building, but you felt it. You felt the momentum. You felt like you were heading somewhere.
Yes.
And then, sometimes you do get the payoff, and you win the World Series.
And then it's so interesting and so satisfying.
And you really get to know the guys and all that crap.
And you know what went into getting there.
And now you're just like rooting for. What are you rooting for?
Yeah, rooting for a bunch of money.
Dude, I'm an Islander fan.
It doesn't even do any good.
I'm an Islander fan, which worst team in hockey. Every year it's a completely different team. Like I can't even keep up with these guys. They're trading and making deals left and right, and it's like that with every sports team now.
No, there was a time.
But that's a great analogy as far as America goes.
There was a time when Lou Gehrig was the new young guy. Let's see what he can do.
Sure.
And he was following on his footsteps of, Babe Ruth was still around.
Well, there was a legendary guy. That's why Lou sat the bench.
Yeah,
and that guy got injured. I forget his name.
Yeah, I forget.
And then he got injured. Lou had a great game, and then next thing you know, he sets the record for consecutive games.
That's the way it used to be. But now it would be Babe is retiring, so let's buy a guy just like him.
Right.
Pay him a disgusting amount of money and put him there.
Right.
Regardless of
sacrificing pitching and everything else.
Exactly. And then lose, and then everybody go, what happened? So fire the manager.
Right.
He couldn't make it work.
Such a joke.
You know what I think Americans need to chipper us all up? I really do.
What do we need?
Hula hoops. I think the hula hoop was something that just made people feel good and alive.
It was a very fun, innocent time in our nation, the hula hoop days.
Maybe pogo sticks.
I had a hula hoop. They sucked.
Did you really?
Does anybody say that hula hoops suck?
I can never work a hula hoop.
They were fun for the first, 30 seconds, and then you're like, ugh.
I could never make my hips move the right way.
We used to throw them at each other.
They're for girls. That's why girls got those hips.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We used to make them into weapons. That's all. Like, what else are you going to do with it?
You put it around a kid's neck and you pull.
Yeah.
That's what I go to my daughter's school and I chaperone lunch and recess sometimes.
Yeah.
And the kids, that's what they do with hula hoops. is like a kid puts it around a kid's neck, literally, and runs in the other direction.
That's wonderful.
Fucking brutal.
Fucking kids, man.
And then you see the other kid, like, sitting on the floor, like, grabbing his neck, and he doesn't know, like, you know, as a grown-up, you know, well, I gotta go see a chiropractor.
Lord of the Flies.
Why don't we take a quick break, and we'll continue. That Dow is trying to stay up today, but it's
68.
It was 68, now it's down to 52. This thing is going down again today.
Good.
This is going down again today.